Hi, guys! The wedding no one wanted. Willow's heart breaks as Drew's dark secrets surface in Port Charles. The fictional town of Port Charles finds itself in the midst of its most controversial wedding scandal in recent memory. As Willow Corinthos prepares to marry the increasingly unpopular Drew Kane amid mounting revelations about blackmail, betrayal, and forbidden affairs. The events surrounding Drew and Willow's nuptials have exposed a web of deception that reaches into the highest echelons of Port Charles society, with consequences that will reshape multiple families and relationships. As wedding preparations reach their climax, three shocking revelations threaten to destroy the ceremony that practically no one in town wants to see happen. Portia's desperate warning. Doctor. Portia Robinson has reached her breaking point with Drew's relentless blackmail campaign. The respected physician, who serves as co-chief of staff at General Hospital, finds herself trapped in an increasingly dangerous game with the congressman who knows her darkest secrets. Drew discovered that Portia had tampered with Heather Weber's test results, information that came to light through Brad Cooper's connections to Selena Wu. The blackmail scheme has escalated dramatically, with Drew now demanding that Portia falsify Michael Corinthos' medical records to make it appear he has an opioid addiction. This shocking request represents Drew's latest attempt to help Willow regain custody of her children by painting Michael as an unfit father. The ethical violation would destroy Portia's medical career and potentially land her in prison if discovered. In a desperate attempt to warn Willow about her fiancé's true nature, Portia confronts the bride-to-be at the hospital. "You have no idea who your fiancé really is," Portia tells a shocked Willow, throwing down the wedding invitation in disgust. The revelation about Drew's blackmail tactics leaves Willow stunned, but her reaction suggests she may be more willing to support Drew's underhanded methods than anyone expected. Portia's investigation into Drew's medical records has uncovered potentially explosive information that could save her from his threats. Sources suggest she may have discovered discrepancies in Drew's blood work that indicate he might not be the real Drew Kane at all, but rather an imposter who took his place after prison. This revelation could provide Portia with the leverage she needs to turn the tables on her blackmailer. Nina's forbidden secret. The most scandalous revelation threatening the wedding involves Nina Reeves' secret affair with her future son-in-law. Nina, Willow's biological mother, had been sleeping with Drew before he became romantically involved with her daughter, creating one of the most uncomfortable love triangles in Port Charles history. Nina's guilt over the affair has been consuming her for months as she watched Drew manipulate and control Willow. The situation became even more complicated when Nina participated in setting up Drew with a prostitute named Jacinda, drugging him in an attempt to create a scandal that would destroy his political career. However, the plan backfired when Drew discovered Nina's involvement and began using it as additional leverage. Curtis Ashford, who recently remembered Nina's affair with Drew, is contemplating whether to expose the truth to save his wife Portia from Drew's blackmail. In the wedding preview, Curtis is shown visiting Willow's bridal suite, telling Portia he's going to fight to save you, even if it means betraying a friend. The friend he's referring to is Nina, whose secret he's prepared to reveal if it will stop Drew's destructive behavior. Meanwhile, Nina herself appears ready to take drastic action to prevent her daughter's marriage to Drew. Dressed for the wedding ceremony, Nina tells her best friend Ava Jerome that as her mother, "I can't stand by and let this go on any longer." The question remains whether Nina will find the courage to confess her affair with Drew or if Curtis will make that decision for her. The wedding day confrontation. As the wedding ceremony begins, the atmosphere in Port Charles is charged with tension and anticipation. Lucico serves as the officiant for the ceremony that has been dubbed the wedding nobody wants. The guest list is notably sparse, reflecting how thoroughly Drew and Willow have alienated the Port Charles community through their actions. Scout Kane, Drew's daughter, walks down the aisle as the flower girl while Drew watches with apparent satisfaction. However, Willow's absence from the scene suggests that the revelations may have already begun to take their toll on the bride-to-be. The preview footage shows Curtis entering Willow's bridal suite, potentially to deliver the news about Nina and Drew's affair. The timing of these revelations appears carefully orchestrated to cause maximum damage to Drew's plans. Having spent months manipulating Willow and isolating her from her family and friends, Drew now faces the possibility that his carefully constructed web of lies will unravel at the altar. Multiple characters have been working behind the scenes to prevent the wedding from taking place. In addition to Portia and Curtis's efforts, Nina has been plotting with her Aunt Liesl Obrecht to bring down Drew once and for all. Their plan may involve exposing Drew's affair with Nina or leveraging Liesl's medical expertise to create additional problems for the congressman. The broader implications. The collapse of Drew and Willow's wedding would have far-reaching consequences throughout Port Charles. Michael Corinthos, who has already lost custody of his children to Willow, stands to benefit significantly if the truth about Drew's manipulation comes to light. The revelation that Drew has been blackmailing medical professionals and falsifying records could potentially restore Michael's reputation and parental rights. For Nina, the exposure of her affair with Drew represents a double-edged sword. While it might save Willow from making a terrible mistake, it could also permanently damage her relationship with her daughter. Willow has already been frustrated with Nina's attempts to interfere in her relationship with Drew, and learning about the affair could be the final straw. The scandal also threatens Drew's political career and congressional position. His opponents have been looking for ammunition to use against him, and revelations about blackmail, medical fraud, and inappropriate relationships could provide exactly what they need. The timing, just as he was consolidating his political power, could not be worse for the congressman. Tracy Quartermain has also been involved in the machinations surrounding Drew, using Nina's affair as leverage in her own schemes. The wealthy matriarch's involvement adds another layer of complexity to an already convoluted situation, as various factions within Port Charles society align for and against Drew. Willow's deteriorating mental state. Perhaps most concerning is Willow's apparent psychological deterioration under Drew's influence. Friends and family members have noticed disturbing changes in her behavior, including a cruel satisfaction when Michael lost custody of baby Daisy. Her smirking reaction to Michael's pain suggests that Drew's manipulation has fundamentally altered her personality and moral compass. Willow's upbringing in a cult appears to have left her vulnerable to Drew's psychological manipulation. The control techniques he employs mirror those used by cult leaders, gradually isolating victims from their support systems and making them dependent on the manipulator. This background makes Willow particularly susceptible to Drew's influence and explains why she has been unable to see through his deceptions. The wedding preparations have revealed just how thoroughly Drew has isolated Willow from her previous life. The sparse guest list and hostile reactions from longtime friends reflect the damage that has been done to her relationships. Even her own children are not present for the ceremony, a stark reminder of what she has lost in pursuit of her relationship with Drew. The countdown to revelation. As the wedding day arrives, multiple storylines are converging toward what promises to be an explosive climax. The preview footage suggests that the ceremony will not proceed smoothly, with various characters prepared to intervene to stop what they see as a catastrophic mistake. The question remains whether Curtis or Nina will be the one to deliver the devastating news about the affair. Both have compelling reasons to act, but also significant personal costs to consider. Curtis risks betraying a close friend in Nina, while Nina faces the possibility of losing her daughter forever. Meanwhile, Portia's medical records investigation may provide additional ammunition against Drew. If she can prove that he is not the real Drew Kane, it would invalidate his congressional position and potentially free her from his blackmail entirely. The blood test discrepancies she has discovered could be the key to unraveling Drew's entire facade. The involvement of other Port Charles residents, including Jason Morgan's investigation into a Brit Westburn lookalike and the ongoing conflict between Sonny Corinthos and Jen Sidwell, adds additional layers of complexity to an already volatile situation. These parallel storylines may intersect with the wedding drama in unexpected ways. A community divided. The Drew and Willow situation has exposed deep divisions within the Port Charles community. While some residents remain loyal to the couple despite their controversial actions, the majority of the town appears to be rooting for the wedding's failure. This unprecedented level of opposition to a wedding reflects the severity of the couple's actions and their impact on the community. The scandal has also highlighted the interconnected nature of Port Charles society, where personal relationships, business dealings, and political ambitions intersect in complex ways. Drew's congressional campaign, Porsche's medical practice, Nina's family relationships, and Curtis's media empire are all affected by the unfolding drama. The resolution of these conflicts will likely reshape the power dynamics within Port Charles for months or years to come. Whether Drew and Willow actually manage to get married, or whether the wedding collapses under the weight of revealed secrets, the aftermath will have lasting consequences for everyone involved. Next, we will dive deep into the electrifying news of Kelly Thiebaud's much-anticipated return as the enigmatic doctor. Brit Westburn, a development that has set the Port Charles community ablaze with excitement and curiosity. The previews for the week of July 14-18 have dropped a tantalizing bombshell. Jason Morgan catches a fleeting glimpse of a woman in a bustling crowd who bears an uncanny resemblance to the presumed deceased Brit. This sighting has sparked a wildfire of speculation among fans, who are now grappling with a whirlwind of emotionship for a miraculous revival, skepticism about a possible doppelganger, or even the introduction of a completely new character with ties to Brit's storied past. As the mystery unfolds, subplots involving Rocco Falconeri's relentless quest for answers about his origins and Brooklyn Quartermain's meddling in family secrets add layers of tension to an already explosive narrative. Could this be the permanent return of the beloved Brit, or is it merely a fleeting plot twist designed to keep us on the edge of our seats? Let's explore every angle of this captivating storyline, from potential explanations for Brit's survival to the ripple effects her presence could have on the Falconeri, Quartermain, and Morgan families. First, let's revisit the tragic circumstances surrounding Brit's apparent demise in January 2023, when she fell victim to Heather Weber's deadly poisoned hook attack. Her death left an indelible mark on Port Charles, with fans mourning the loss of a character who had evolved from a scheming antagonist to a complex, multi-dimensional figure with a knack for stealing hearts. The image of Jason spotting a woman who mirrors Brit's striking features has reignited those buried emotions, prompting wild theories about how she might have cheated death. Could her mother, the brilliant and often morally ambiguous Dr. Liesl Obrecht, have orchestrated a secret medical miracle to save her daughter? Perhaps Liesl, with her vast knowledge of cutting-edge science and underground networks, faked Brit's death to protect her from further harm, stashing her away in a hidden facility until the coast was clear. Another intriguing possibility is the emergence of a long-lost twin sister, a product of the twisted legacy of Caesar Faison, Brit's notorious father, whose dark machinations have haunted Port Charles for decades. This twin could be a wild card, possessing Brit's face but harboring an entirely different agenda, possibly one of vengeance or redemption. Fans are buzzing with anticipation, wondering if this sighting marks the beginning of a new chapter for Brit or merely a ghostly echo of her past. Meanwhile, the younger generation of Port Charles is unwittingly drawn into the vortex of Brit's return through Rocco Falconeri's determined investigation into his own origins. Rocco, the son of Dandy Falconeri and Lulu Spencer, has recently stumbled upon whispers of Brit's infamous embryo theft scandal that shook the Falconeri family to its core years ago. Driven by a need to understand his true roots, Rocco has been quietly reaching out to Liesl Obrecht, hoping to uncover buried truths about Brit's role in his conception. His innocent curiosity, however, threatens to unearth painful secrets that could shatter the fragile balance of his family. Imagine the emotional turmoil if Rocco learns that his very existence is tied to Brit's controversial action show. Might this impact his relationship with Dante, who has always strived to shield his son from the darker chapters of their history? Lulu, currently absent from the scene due to her own struggles, might find her eventual return overshadowed by a son grappling with identity crises. The stakes are unimaginably high, and Rocco's search could either forge a deeper bond with his family or drive an irreparable wedge between them, depending on how the truth comes to light. Adding fuel to this already raging fire is Brooklyn Quartermain, whose penchant for stirring drama knows no bounds. Brooklyn has taken it upon herself to dig into the murky details of Rocco's birth, ostensibly to protect her extended family but likely motivated by a desire to assert control over the narrative. Her involvement introduces a dangerous dynamic, as her findings could either corroborate or contradict Rocco's discoveries, potentially leading to explosive confrontations within the Quartermain and Falconeri clans. Picture a tense family gathering at the Quartermain mansion, where Brooklyn casually drops a bombshell about Brit's past actions, unaware that Rocco is within earshot. The fallout could be catastrophic, with accusations flying and old wounds reopening. Brooklyn's meddling also raises questions about her own motivations. Does she genuinely want to help? Or is she using this sensitive information as leverage in her ongoing power struggles within the family? Her actions could amplify the chaos surrounding Brit's return, turning a personal mystery into a full-blown public spectacle that engulfs Port Charles. If Brit's return proves to be more than a mere mirage, the implications for her relationships with other key characters are staggering. Consider her complex history with Nina Reeves, who shares a tangled web of family ties and betrayals with Brit through their mutual connection to Liesel. A resurrected Brit could either mend old fences with Nina or ignite a fierce rivalry, especially if unresolved grievances from their past resurface. Then there's Cody Bell, whose own murky backstory might intersect with Brit's in unexpected ways, perhaps through shared secrets or hidden alliances that have yet to be revealed. Their dynamic could introduce a fresh layer of intrigue, particularly if Cody becomes a confidant or adversary in Brit's quest to reclaim her place in Port Charles. Jason Morgan, too, stands at the heart of this storm as a single parent to Danny Morgan. His emotional investment in Brit's return, whether as a lost love or a painful reminder of past losses, could reshape his priorities. Will Jason's pursuit of the truth about Brit draw him closer to other pivotal figures like Carly Spencer or Anna Devane, both of whom have their own stakes in the unfolding drama? The potential for alliances and conflicts is endless, promising a narrative rich with emotional depth and unexpected twists. The broader impact of Brit's return on the Falconeri and Quartermain families cannot be overstated. If she is indeed alive and chooses to stay in Port Charles, her presence could fundamentally alter the power dynamics within these clans. For the Falconeris, Brit's reappearance might force Dandy and Lulu to confront unresolved issues about trust and transparency, especially as they navigate how to explain her role in Rocco's life to their son. Laura Collins, ever the voice of reason, has previously cautioned Lulu about the dangers of hidden truths fracturing their family. Her warnings might now come to fruition if Rocco's search escalates unchecked. On the Quartermain side, Brit's return could either unite or divide the family, depending on how Brooklyn's investigation plays out and whether other members, like Michael Corinthos or Willow Tate, become entangled in the drama. The ripple effects could extend even further, touching the lives of peripheral characters who have their own connections to Brit's past misdeeds or redemptions. Port Charles might never be the same if Brit reclaims her place as a permanent force, but the question remains, will her comeback endure, or will it unravel as quickly as it began, leaving behind more questions than answers? As we ponder the future of Brit Westburn in Port Charles, one thing is certain: her return, whether as the original Brit, a twin sister, or a cleverly crafted illusion, has already shaken the canvas of General Hospital to its core. Fans are split down the middle, with some thrilled at the prospect of seeing Kelly Thiebaud reprise her iconic role and hoping Brit will once again rule the roost with her sharp wit and undeniable charisma. Others, however, are more cautious, lamenting the potential for a short-lived storyline that might disrupt existing arcs without delivering lasting impact. The emotional stakes are sky-high, with every character connected to Brit poised for transformation or turmoil. Will her presence cement her as a central figure in Port Charles once more, or will this twist fade into the background, a mere blip in the town's chaotic history? We invite you to share your thoughts. Are you overjoyed at Brit's return in any form, eagerly awaiting her next move? Or do you fear this plotline might overstay its welcome?